A top assassin from a secret clan is betrayed by his own people and sent to a mysterious island to retrieve the elixir of life. If he fails, his wife will be executed. She is the only reason he is still alive, so he has no choice but to accept the mission.
In the first episode, an attempt is made to execute Gabimaru, a notorious ninja assassin. The executioner runs a sword across his neck several times, but every time the sword breaks, Gabimaru lies quietly. The magistrate becomes embarrassed. He tries every kind of execution. Even burning it in the fire doesn't work. Gabimaru stands in the fire as if wrapped in a warm blanket. This is hardcore. Meanwhile, a female interrogator starts asking him questions. She wants to know who Gabimaru really is. Gabimaru tells that his parents were killed by the village chief when he was a child. He was made a killing machine since childhood, and now he has no desire to live. Gabimaru further explains that he was captured because a fellow ninja betrayed him because he tried to leave the village, which was a big taboo in their clan. The magistrate then tries another method. Gabimaru is tied up and pulled by two bulls, but instead of being ripped in half, Gabimaru pulls the bulls towards him. Now everyone is wondering whether this man is immortal. The interrogator challenges him. If he really wants to die, then why is his body fighting again and again? What is he hiding? Eventually, Gabimaru opens up. He was a top assassin of the village. He married the chief's daughter. That girl was very gentle. Her kindness gave Gabimaru the desire to live an ordinary life. But when he asked for freedom, the chief got him betrayed. The interrogator was warned in advance that Gabimaru was an emotionless monster, whom everyone calls Gabimaru the Hollow, but she pushes him further. Gabimaru himself starts wondering why he can't die if he has nothing left, when even the attempt to burn it in boiling oil fails. The magistrate reveals the true identity of the interrogator. Yamada Asamon Sadri, Edo's elite executioner, which could actually kill him. For the first time, fear appears in Gabimaru's eyes. Sadri tells him the truth. He wants to live because he wants to return to his wife. Gabimaru denies. He attacks Sadri and says she is hollow, but gradually the memories of his wife break him. He remembers how she accepted him, even though he had a bloody past, and how his own father burned his face so that he could not live a normal life. Gabimaru really wants to see her again. Sadri then reveals the real reason. She shows him the pardon he received from the shogunate. Gabimaru can be pardoned if he completes a mission. He has to go to a mysterious place called Shinsenkyo, where it is said that the elixir of immortality is hidden. The problem is that whoever has gone there so far either died, or when he came back, parts of his body had turned into flowers. It's quite scary, and Gabimaru won't go alone. Many death row convicts are also being selected for this mission. The interrogator tells him the most important thing. His wife is alive, and she is still waiting for him. Hearing this, Gabimaru agrees to the mission. Overwhelmed by the memories of his wife, he starts crying, the tears she thought would never come out. Episode 1 ends here, where Gabimaru shows off his ninjutsu. He tears apart the magistrate's men like this. Like now, he really has a reason to fight. Episode 2 starts with Sadri's past. As a child, he saw his father, who was an executioner. While narrating the story, he calmly beheaded a man. If it were a normal child, he would have been scared, but Sadri decided that she would also become like her father. Kids choose really strange role models, but becoming an elite executioner wasn't that easy. Every time Sadri picked up the sword, her hands shook. His father used to say that hesitation prolongs the suffering of a prisoner. Sadri accepted this wholeheartedly, but doubts remain deep inside. Will she ever be able to kill someone without fear? In the present, the selection of criminals begins to search for the elixir of life. The 11th Shogun Naroshi, Tokugawa, gives them one last chance. If you survive the mission, you will get freedom. Sadri reads the records. She is still wondering if she has the power to execute someone. His father believed that the sword reveals a person's true nature. Sadri wonders if she will be able to kill Gabimaru. She sees his sword and is frightened by Gabimaru's intense ninjutsu abilities. To convince the convicts, the officials show a survivor. He had returned from Shinsenkyo, but the whole body is covered with flowers. He is no longer considered alive. The crowd goes mad with fear. Everyone complains that they were not told about this flower nightmare. Convicts are told that if the mission seems dangerous, they can leave it. A man foolishly believes the truth. As soon as he tries to get out, he is immediately beheaded by Yamada, the executioner. After that, no one dares to go. Every criminal is given an escort, like a probation officer, who keeps them under control. Clear instructions are given. Do not kill your escort intentionally or accidentally, otherwise you will die immediately. Then comes the real twist. Not everyone can go to Shinsenkyo. The selection process becomes a battle royale. The criminals start killing each other. Gabimaru stands silently. Lord Aizen from the Yamada clan gives Sadri a reality check. He says Sadri is too soft for this job. He should leave her and live a quiet life. Sadri remembers being bullied as a child for wanting to become an executioner. She decides that she will not go anywhere now. Some criminals attack him. Sadri hesitates a moment, but then she cuts them off. Some criminals attack Gabimaru. He can no longer restrain himself. He unleashes his ninjutsu and destroys everyone. Sadri sees him and realizes her hesitation in execution does not mean that she wants to kill without remorse. In fact, this is power, the strength to bear the weight of every life. Episode 3 begins with Gabimaru's memories. He thinks about the chief of Iwagakure. It was impossible to kill him because he once drank a mysterious elixir. Because of that memory, Gabimaru is convinced that the elixir of life really exists. However, he still has doubts whether he is hiding in Shinsenkyo. Meanwhile, Sadri sticks strictly to the mission rules. She doesn't hold back from tying Gabimaru up. As she's tying him up with a rope, suddenly a massive wrecking ball hits Gabimaru. He flies and falls. For a moment, it seems that he is dead, but Gabimaru wakes up as if someone lightly hit him with a pillow. It is quite hardcore. Attacker, towering criminal Kalen. He clearly wants to move ahead in the race for the elixir by eliminating others. Gabimaru immediately points out that Kalen's hands are not tied. He hints to Sadri not to obsess over the rope, focus on the real danger. Kalen's escort, Asamon Kisho, arrives there. He clearly tells Sadri that her rigid honesty and strong belief in rules is why she ranks low in the Yamada clan. Gabimaru is tied up and fucked, but the fight begins. Gabimaru wins and Kalen's escort beheads him right there. Kisho then warns Sadri. He says that there are more dangerous criminals spread across the island, and as survivors dwindle, more will be sent. He also tells that a war village has already been notified, and this mission can decide who will become the next head of the Yamada clan. Scenes show that there is chaos on the island. Criminals are attacking each other. Some are even betraying their escorts. More than half the criminals will die. The rest will also die soon. After Kisho leaves, Gabimaru suddenly attacks Sadri. A fierce clash begins. During the fight, Sadri delves deeper into her past. She realizes that Gabimaru's parents tried to escape from a war to save him, but the chief killed him. Gabimaru was taught from childhood that caring for others is a weakness that will slow him down. Sadri reminds him that if he kills her, the mission rules will be broken and he will not get pardoned. But Gabimaru insists that none of this matters if a war village reaches the island first. According to him, the villagers would destroy everything, including Sadri. Gabimaru tries to make himself an emotionless killer again. He breaks Sadri's sword and tells her to stop resisting, but when he goes to finish the fight, it freezes. He is haunted by memories of his wife. The feelings she tried to suppress, they come back as floods. Gabimaru realizes that his wife's love has changed him. He has made her soft, and now he can't undo it. Sadri understands this. She recognizes that Gabimaru's hesitation is not a weakness. This is a new strength, which he got from loving someone. On the other side of the island, Tamiya is exploring the Gentetsu jungle with his escort. Suddenly a butterfly, whose face is disturbingly human. It sits on his hand and stings him. Horrified, Tamiya cuts off his hand. As soon as that hand falls on the ground, it turns into flowers. Soon, strange and scary beasts start appearing on the island. Back home, Sadri and Gabimaru also encounter these demonic creatures. Gabimaru moves forward and signals Sadri to stay behind. Whoever these creatures are, he is ready to confront them directly. The episode ends here. Gabimaru prepares to charge into the unknown.
The next episode begins with Tamiya, which is called Sword Dragon. He tells his escort Yamada Asamon Fuchi how he ended up on death row. The short story is that a wealthy Lord Tatsumi mocked his nickname. He said that Tamiya couldn't kill a real dragon. Tamiya took this very personally, and in anger, he cut the dragon sculpture at Lord's Gate in half. That little meltdown of Tamiya is what got her into this trouble. Now that he has a chance to pardon, his plan is simple: to obtain the elixir, then return home and cut to Tatsumi's house midway. This man never forgets. Meanwhile, Gabimaru and Sadri are fighting the strange, titan-like monsters of Shinsenkyo. Gabimaru unleashes his full power. He cuts creatures easily. As danger approaches, he picks up Sadri in his arms without thinking. But before another demon attacks them, Yuzuriha takes the entry and finishes it, as if this is a daily routine for him.
him. She claims that she is also a ninja, so naturally Gabimaru and him should be allies. She tries to charm Gabimaru, but Gabimaru has no interest in alliance. Yuzuriha brings her chaos with her. He has 2 escorts, because she seduced another escort, Genji, and took him with her when he killed a convict. She suggests teaming up with Gabimaru's group. She says trust is not necessary. Progress can still happen. To prove her worth, she gives crucial information. The real danger is human-faced butterflies. Other creepy insects are not that dangerous. Sadri struggles with her self-doubts while discussing strategy. The pressure overwhelms him, and it collapses due to stress. On the other side of the island, Yamada Asamon Toma is on a jailbreak mission. He infiltrated the Yamada clan to protect his elder brother Azachob so that he can free the infamous Bandit King. Both brothers survived a brutal childhood just by trusting each other. Toma always followed Chobi's lead, and Chob became an expert at reading and manipulating situations. In the present, the brothers clash with massive monsters, who start lecturing them by calling murder sinful. It seems as if the Titans themselves have become gods and are giving divine punishment. Chob reacts the way he knows how. He brutally cuts them without hesitation, screaming. Once the path is clear, he decides that nothing will come between him, his brother, and the elixir. His new plan is simple. Kill anyone who gets in your way, get the elixir first, and live forever. Episode 5 begins with Sadri waking up. She collapsed due to the poisonous bugs on the island. Genji explains that the toxins had overwhelmed him when she was unconscious. The group learned more about the monsters and the island's strange ecosystem. Now everyone is wondering what the next step should be. Yuzuria's original escort explains that the island statues feature a combination of Buddhist and Taoist symbols. And those weird Titan people, they look like human shapes made by joining random animals. After a while, Genji talks to Sadri. He insists that Sadri return home. He says that being the daughter of the Yamada clan leader, it is her duty to prepare for the marriage. He even says that he will go on the mission in his place. But before he can convince her, Senda quietly steps in and tells the harsh truth. Even though Sadri tries to escape from the boat, there is no guarantee that she will actually be able to get out of the island alive. Meanwhile, Yamada, Asamon Tenza, and convict Narugai are trying their desperate escape. They find a wreck boat on the coast. As soon as they get close, monsters come out and attack. Apparently, this boat belonged to those who had tried to escape earlier. This scene triggers Narugai's painful memories, how he innocently led the samurai to his mountain village, and because of that his entire clan was wiped out. Tenza sees that the child looks traumatized. He asks what he wants now. Narugai admits that he just wants to live, and one day he wants to return to those mountains. Both of them reach a boat while fighting water monsters, but as soon as they climb on it, the current pulls them back toward the island. Then Tenza realizes something. Narugai is actually a girl. This becomes clear when she takes off her clothes. It's a very awkward moment. Escape is no longer an option, so both of them start planning what to do next. In the main group, Genji again tries to convince Sadri to abandon the mission, but Senda believes he should stay. He has seen real changes in Gabimaru, and he feels that Sadri is the only one who can keep Gabimaru grounded if he gets out of control. Later, Gabimaru and Sadri have a quiet moment. Gabimaru asks if she's okay. Both acknowledge that they have become stronger than before. The next morning, Genji speaks to Sadri for the last time. He hopes that now she will agree to leave, but Sadri flatly refuses. She says that all her life she was told to behave like a proper woman, and now she is fed up with it. She says that from now on she will choose her own path. Before Genji could answer, Sadri sees a towering figure, Rakuroda, the most feared convict. As Genji turns around, Rakuroda strikes and cuts him in half. The island is a quick reminder of how unforgiving this place is. The next episode begins with Roku's charge. He attacks Genji. Flashes of his childhood are seen. It seems that the convict was born with superhuman strength, and sometimes he would unknowingly leave a trail of blood. Genji is getting torn apart, but his only concern is to protect Sadri. Sadri tries to save him, but Genji knows he can't escape now. He asks him to run. Roku is about to reach Sadri when Gabimaru stops him with a kick. Gabimaru immediately begins to analyze what Roku's strengths are and how to defeat him. He calls Yuzuriha for backup, but Yuzuriha laughs and says that she is here to gather intel, not to be flattened, and the fighter is Gabimaru only. Gabimaru fights with all his might when he doesn't get backup. He uses every ninjutsu trick, but Roku takes it all in stride, without flinching. Amidst the chaos, Sadri tends to Genji's wounds. Genji grows weaker, but at the same time he understands Sadri's true strength and character. He realizes that opposites, male or female, strength or weakness. In fact, back, accepting both sides as strength. Gabimaru is barely surviving on the battlefield. Just then, Sadri steps in and cuts off Roku's fingers. Both make simple strategies: split and create a decisive opening. But the Roku is very overpowering. Sadri is fighting her hesitation. Gabimaru is pushing his legs to the limit to avoid earth-shaking blows. Then Roku completely snaps out of hunger and emotion. He grabs Gabimaru and slams his head on the ground. Gabimaru becomes bloodied and dazed, but he makes desperate plans, forcing Rokuroda to bow so Sadri can decapitate him. He unleashes his fire ninjutsu, turns the entire forest into an inferno. Yuzuriha immediately pulls Sen away because he knows Gabimaru is going to burn this part down. Rokuroda choking on smoke. Roku is forced to bend over for air. Roku tries to attack Sadri one last time, but Gabimaru suppresses him as Sadri picks up Genji's sword. Memories of Roku come flooding back, his endless childhood hunger, the pain of loneliness that shaped him. Sadri wields a sword and ends her suffering. She prays for peace for him in her heart. Gabimaru immediately warns that the fire will draw monsters here, so everyone steps back. From a safe distance, they see strange creatures moving around the fire, and their behavior is not like that of typical beasts. Gabimaru suggests following their path so that the real truth can be known. The trail leads them to Yuzuriha, Senta, and a mysterious village. Is this the same legendary Shinzino? Where do island hermits live? On the other hand, Chop casually kills monsters. He drinks their blood as if it were mountain spring water. His brother Toma explains that the hermits on this island have supernatural powers, which are much more than normal monsters. Chop gets excited by this idea, but before it gets too hyped, they hear a voice. They remove the bushes and freeze. There are two completely naked people in front who are making out as if this is their private paradise. Seriously, what is going on here? Episode 7 continues from there. At first glance, those two strange people appear to be women, but as soon as Chab and Toma see them, the blonde shows disgust and turns into a man. He feels disgusted seeing humans. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, Gabimaru hears footsteps. He sees a little girl running away. He cannot even imagine how there can be a girl on this murder island. Then a giant tree monster attacks him. Gabimaru immediately decides that the girl is more important. Leaving the shrub monster, he runs after it. Sadri goes after him in panic. Now the monster is trapped with Yuzuriha and Senta. Gabimaru and Sadri reach the girl. She launches a massive energy attack on Gabimaru. Normal child behavior, right? Gabimaru traps him with vines. She starts crying. Sadri calms him down with mom energy. After a gentle talk and pat, the baby stops crying. She clings to Sadri. The group reunites again. The tree monster unsettlingly demands the girl back. He promises to take them to his village and will tell the secrets of the elixir of life. Yuzuriha doesn't trust him, but when Mr. Group promises to give her a bath, she gets ready immediately. Reaching the village, Yuzuriha and Sadri rest in the bathhouse. Gabimaru and the others have lunch with the giant tree. The creature reveals everything during that questionable meal. The real name of the island is Kotfuku. The elixir of life really exists, and it is called Tan. The island is divided into 3 zones, in 3 concentric circles. The first outer zone is Aishu, the shoreline and forest where everyone wants to kill you. Next is Hojo, the middle layer where they are now. And last is Hai, the mist-covered center, where the real elixir is. Cut to Chab and Toma, who is currently fighting Tenzin, and immediately realize that they are nothing in front of him. It turns out that those 2 naked weirdos seen earlier are actually Tenzin. Tenzin neither grows old nor dies. Always look beautiful, and they're so strong that they can blow away a person like a fly. The worst part is that they don't kill you. Rather, they turn them into flowers. We see Chab and Toma's bodies lying on the ground. Blonde Tenzin throws them into the pit so that the flowers become fertilizer. In the village, the tree creature reveals its true identity. His name is Hoko. He and the girl may have been living on this island for centuries. Their aim is not to fight, just live peacefully. Gabimaru goes to the bathhouse to clean himself. Their Sadri is recreating an Edito-style spa for May so that everyone can take a bath comfortably. Sadri gives bath supplies to Gabimaru. She washes May. May hugs Sadri in gratitude. Seeing all this, Gabimaru remembers his wife. Her gentle reminders, relax, breathe, and live life. He tells May that her scar is nothing to be ashamed of. He knows someone who has a scar, and she is very beautiful. It is clear that he is talking about his wife. The episode ends with a quiet reflection of Gabimaru, his goal, and how much this journey is changing him. Episode 8 begins with Nirugai and a probation officer Tenza. They are roaming around in Shinsino Genio. Suddenly a strange creature falls on them. Tenza cuts him up like a salad. He catches Nurugai and runs into the forest. But the island does not let anyone rest. The creature reassembles itself from plant vines and immediately catches it. Now it's clear that this is Tenzin. Things are getting grim when Tenza's Master Shine arrives. He attacks the monster, so much so that all three can reach the safe spot. Shine scolds Tenza as soon as he gets a chance to breathe on his weak performance. Shine explains that he was alone because he had completed his assignment, but could not find a way to get out of the island. Every current took him nowhere. Finally, he found a stream that might lead out. While searching for survivors, he met Tenza and Nurugai. Tenza asks him to take him to the stream, but Shine wants answers first. Why is Tenza protecting convict Nurugai, whereas this is against the rules? Shine shows proof, a lock of hair from the criminal to whom he was assigned, to show that he followed the orders of the shogunate. Tenza insists that Nurugai does not deserve execution. Shine shuts him down and calls his actions a treason. Tenza retorts. He reminds her that Shine had no obligation to adopt her when he was a homeless kid. Still, he took it. Shine admits that he saw potential in him at that time. Tenza argues with the same logic that Nurugai also deserved a chance. After thinking, Shine sheathes his sword, but warns that protecting Nurugai puts the Yamura clan or him at risk, so he won't hesitate to kill him. Tenzin returns before he can enjoy the moment, and it's nasty on Shine. Tenza charges, but the creature remains unfazed. Tenza takes a fatal blow in the fight. The episode now cuts between battle and flashbacks. We see young Tenza. Shine tells him that he took him because he had potential, something Tenza didn't believe at the time. Tenza wanted to quit during training. He used to say that he was not made for sword. Shine said that if he could land a hit on him, then he will let her go. Later, another Asamon, Lord Aizen, takes Tenza to the graveyard and shows him Teshin's grave. Shien's previous student was Tessin. He left Shine and became a criminal, and Shine was forced to execute him. That guilt made Shine a dedicated mentor. He decided that he would never fail any student again. Hearing this, Tenza turned back to Shine with renewed commitment. In the present, Tenza is mortally wounded, but still determined. He uses his last bit of strength to allow Shine and Nurugai to escape. Shine runs into the forest with Nurugai, and Tenza stands alone and fights. Eventually, the enemy overwhelms him. Tenza collapses. The scene lingers on her still body, where a cherry blossom petal falls on her headband. In the final flashback, we see when Tenza finally landed that hit on Shine. Instead of quitting, he asked Shine for more training. The episode ends with a close-up of a cherry blossom, a quiet reminder of what Tenza fought for. Seriously, what a hero he was. Episode 9 starts with Senta's stress. The endless mysteries of the island are troubling him. Eventually, the whole group falls asleep, except Gabamar. He stays awake and remembers Senta's advice. Learn more about Tenzin, make a solid plan, then go to Horai where the elixir of life is. But Gabamar always does the opposite. He decides to complete the mission alone and will return to his wife. He sets out alone. Using the information he got from Hoko, he moves towards Horai. He reaches the eerie mist, where sentient trees are worshipping something. The danger is clear, but Gabamaru goes further. As he is about to open the gate of Horai, the same Tenzin who killed Tenza arrives. Creature politely tells Gabamaru to go away. He doesn't want to fight. Gabamaru answers, "Is the elixir made from humans? This is the fastest way to provoke the immortal flower god," and the fight begins. Gabamaru does some real damage. He tears off several of Tenzin's limbs, but Tenzin regenerates immediately and launches a new attack, due to which Gabamaru gets badly injured. Still, Gabamaru keeps fighting. The desire to see his wife fuels him. Tenzin shifts into monstrous flower form, completely overwhelms Gabamaru. It brings him to the brink of death. Gabamaru slips into unconsciousness. He is with his wife in a peaceful dream. He knows this is not real, but still he is grateful for that moment. Reality comes back quickly. Creature catches him and prepares to finish him off. Gabamaru uses his last strength to injure the creature again, but before Tenzin kills him, Mei rushes. She saves Gabamaru and literally rolls him out. Meanwhile, Sadri decides that she can't wait any longer. Gabamaru is missing. She asks the others for help in searching for him. Hoko also joins them. He's sure Mei went after Gabamaru. While traveling, Hoko explains the origins of Tenzin. On the other hand, Tenzin's tense family meeting is going on. Ju Fa, the same blonde who defeated Chob and his brother, reports that Zhu Jin, the same Tenzin who was fighting Gabamaru, he failed in his duty and forced Gabamaru to Kishikai form. These creatures are gender fluid. Some consider themselves male, some female, and Kishikai Isekai form is his ultimate monstrous transformation. Purple-haired Tensen Rien shuts down Ju Fa. He reminds her that only he has a right to bully Zujin, and Ju reminds Fa that he has his mess to clean up, specifically Chob Toma. They have to confirm that both the humans are really dead. Problems related to humans are increasing. Purple-haired Tensen warns the group not to underestimate the intruders. Then he announces the next step: kill every human on the island and make more elixir from their bodies. Hoko reveals more to Sajiri's group. At first it was only one Tensen, a hermit who achieved enlightenment. Later it split into 7 bodies, with 7 different personalities. Hoko also reveals that he and the island's former residents were once human. His people continue to thrive for centuries, but later Hurai got converted into trees as part of faith. Transform. Our bodies slowly turn into trees. They believe that by growing a tree near Hurai, their souls would reach there after death. Gabimaru is still injured from his fight with Zujin. He thinks there must be a way to kill Tensen. Then suddenly Tamiya and her escort Fuchi appear. The episode ends here, where the one-handed convict casually announces that he is going to kill Gabimaru. Yeah, let's see what happens next. Episode 10 begins with Fuchi intervening. He stops Tamiya and Gabimaru from making sushi rolls. Fuchi wants answers, not a battlefield. Gabimaru immediately bows and requests them to team up. Tamiya gets annoyed because she wanted a dramatic showdown, not polite diplomacy. Nevertheless, Fuchi decides to listen to Gabimaru. Gabimaru explains all he has learned about Tensen. Both are confused, but also interested. Tamiya agrees to join, but not for pardon. Rather, he wants to leave the greatest legacy by slaying the immortal Tensen. Fuchi calls him stupid, but he also wants to dissect immortals. Team up is officially done. The condition is that Tamiya will deliver the finishing blow, and Fuchi would dissect later. Fair deal. Gabimaru is about to share his intel when he notices something wild. Mei looks older now and can suddenly speak. Gabimaru asks if she's like Tensen. Mei speaks some gibberish about Tao. Everyone becomes more confused. Here Hoko is explaining to Senna and Yuzuriha the entire island is a religious science project, which was created by a godlike human being, and humans come out only when they turn into flowers. His best bet is still the same: find the elixir and run for your life. Yuzuriha assumes that Gabimaru and Mei are dead, but Sajiri refuses. She insists that Gabimaru is alive and planning his next move, because that's the kind of man he is. With Gabimaru, Mei tells the group that using Tao is the key to defeating Tensen, but the explanation is so vague that everyone forgets to blink. Thankfully, Hoko gives the details. Tao is the energy that flows through everything, and Tensen controls it like a pro. The cut is at Nirugai. She requests Cheyenne to teach her swordsmanship. Cheyenne refuses. He says he has already lost many pupils. He doesn't want Nirugai to become a tragic memory either. He plans to avenge Tenza himself, but Nirugai keeps insisting. Cheyenne explains waves to him. Basically, it's Tao, but with monk wisdom. Through these waves, he can sense height, weight, looks, and even emotions. These boost senses and fighting skills, and he wants Nirugai to learn it himself. Scenes cut to Cheyenne, Hoko, and Mei. Everyone is trying to teach their team's versions of the Tao. Cheyenne demonstrates by cutting the monsters like tofu, hopes that Nirugai will learn from observation. She cannot be his official student, but I am getting a chance to learn. Meanwhile, Gabimaru and Tamiya are ambushed by monsters. Tamiya says this is the perfect training ground for learning the Tao, and charges with a grin. In the underground, Tensen Tao, Fa and Mudon are getting freaky in the flesh pit. Yes, it is as weird as it sounds. They brag about how they turn humans into tan for elixir by throwing them into the hole. But the plot twists. Chob and Toma escape from the pit. Chob explains that the weak spot of monsters is the center of mass, either the groin or the belly button. Then a creepy creature arrives, Doshi. He claims that he has come on Tensen's orders, and politely says go back to the pit so that you can be turned into tan. Chob responds in his usual style. He cleans off Doshi's arm. Chob decides that he will handle Doshi, and Toma will fight the rest of the creatures. But Doshi is not impressed. The episode ends with Doshi knocking out Chob. Round 1 goes to Team Doshi. Episode 11 starts from there. Doshi plans to throw Chob back into the creepy vine-infested hole, but Chob, being Chob, refuses. He jumps, catches Doshi off guard, and launches a surprise attack. Doshi can't understand how Chob is still moving. He wonders if perhaps the plants in the hole have fused with him. His throat regenerated, but how? He is a frail human, soft and vulnerable. Perhaps the vines below the hole have merged with it. Here Chob feels the flow of the Tao inside Chi. He begins to think that perhaps mastering the Tao is the only way to kill Tensen. She asks him what he would do if he stopped being human. Chob shrugs it off. He says that this doesn't even come in the top 10 weird things for him. Flashbacks reveal how Chob lost a vision in his right eye when he and Toma were kids. In the present, Chob figures out that Chi's weak point is his navel. He starts hammering right there. Chi notices that Chob's Tao is swell like a power bar in a fighting game. He calls in Titan's Eyes monsters for backup, but it turns out that Toma has already wiped them. Chob delivers the final crushing blow. He admits that if he wants to take revenge on Tenzin, he must learn Tao. He asks Toma to help tie up Doshi, but Toma is worried because vine-like marks are spreading on his brother's back. On the other hand, Tamiya and Gabimaru are fighting the Beast Titan and Doshi opponents. Tamiya asks Mei if he's getting better at Tao, but Mei is not very helpful. Gabimaru notices that Fuchi is poking at Titan Beast corpses. Fuchi explains that these creatures are not built alike on the inside. Just then Doshi sees Mei. He takes it from Tamiya's shoulder and claims that he was looking for her. He explains that Mei was banished from the palace and disappeared, although Rian had forbidden him from searching anymore. But now he sees his chance to take her back. He declares that Mei does not belong to humans, because like Tenzin, it also depends on human fertilizers. He tries to convince Mei to return to Hurai and lead them, but Gabimaru immediately steps in. Another Doshi comes. He announces that Gabimaru, Tamiya, and Fuchi will be transformed into Tan. That is Elixir. Chaotic fight begins. Doshi quickly shows that the trio is outmatched. He demands why Gabimaru repeatedly takes risks for Mei. Gabimaru simply says that he is doing what he thinks is right. He then asks Doshi why he is so fixated on Mei. Eventually, Doshi clears everything. Their training revolves around the Tao, which is present in every living thing, and they learn it through 5 methods: Duin, Taisoku, Shutsu, Shoin, and Bujitsu. Bujitsu is the greatest method. A partner is needed in this, because in this yin and yang energies circulate between two people. Through this process, Tao can reach the level where the laws of nature bend. Tenzin taught this technique, and Doshi has been training to perfect it for years. Because Doshi are male, they have yang energy, whereas Mei has the highest quality yin energy. Mei was banished by Rian because it was considered defective Tenzin. She cannot transform and only possesses yin energy. Yet Doshi wants to use him for Bachijutsu so that they can boost their Tao. He reveals that Rian was the one who gave Mei the scar on her back, and the ultimatum was given: die or do Bujitsu with Doshi. Yeah, these creeps basically want to do hanky-panky with Mei to get power. Disgusting. Hearing this much is enough for Gabimaru. He and Tamiya immediately charge into battle. Gabimaru quickly realizes that Doshi is not as strong as Tenzin, but still he is not able to sense their Tao. Fuchi explains that the mind must be strong and flexible to perceive Tao. Mei steps in. She helps Gabimaru unlock Tao vision, and quietly acknowledges that her Tao is immense. With new awareness, Gabimaru fights at full power. Doshi outlines his attack plan, but it doesn't matter. Gabimaru and Tamiya finish them off by cutting them down. Meanwhile, Sadri and her group finally reach Hurai. The episode ends on a brutal note. Mudon appears as if he's been waiting for them, and cleanly decapitates Hoko. Episode 12 begins with a casual introduction of Mudon. He greets Sadri's group. Right after Hoko's head is cut off, Yuzuriha immediately tries to escape, but Mudon blocks his way. Hoko, who is somehow still alive, warns who they're dealing with. Mudon explains that Hoko won't die just yet, but this injury will accelerate his transformation. It will soon become a full tree. Then Mudon makes the moment worse. He tells Hoko that all her beliefs were lies. The island's religion was fabricated. It was created to control everything. According to him, Shinsenyo is not a paradise. This is a giant research lab, and Tenzin considers every human as test material. Mudon shows his human experiments, twisted-looking Koishi Greha. He explains that things that are not useful to humans, they are changed to Koishi, and those who are strong, they are converted to Tan. That is, the energy that Tenzin needs to make the elixir. Then he drops an even bigger bombshell. The elixir for which everyone is risking their lives. He is not on the island at all. Tan only benefits Tenzin if a human drinks it, so it turns into a tree, just like the people of Hoko, who were the original inhabitants of the island. Before the lecture ends, Yuzuriha escapes Koishi's grip with her misdirection technique. She cuts off Mudon's head. This moment works, but Mudon regenerates, completely unfazed, and sends Koishi to attack him again. Yuzuriha dodges easily. This surprises Mudon. He realizes that Yuzuriha has some understanding of Tao, or as they say in his village, Ki. Before he tests it, Senta steps forward. He looks like a nerd, not a fighter, but he insists that he will handle Mudon first. Sadri is confused, but Senta slices Mudon's limbs. This irritates the immortal immortal monster. Yuzuriha drinks a strange concoction and activates her ninja technique, Slime String. This allows her to spit out any medicine she swallows. This time, she uses deadly snake venom. Mudon melts for a moment, but it regenerates again. Senta and Yuzuriha attack relentlessly, but nothing works. Mudon openly says that without mastering the Tao, their efforts are useless. Sadri asks Hoko for guidance. Mudon considers Yuzuriha's substitution technique a clever use of Tao while fighting. Sadri seizes the opportunity and uses it to strike Tanden, that is, the center Tao flow. Hoko explains that damaging Tanden is the way to defeat Tenzin, but Mudon heals, says that Sadri's Tao is not strong yet. Sadri regains focus with breathing techniques and makes another strike, so strong that Mudon retreats. This time, he does not regenerate. Yuzuriha and Senna immediately notice that something is different. Sadri explains that she noticed a strange aura around Mudon and instinctively aimed at that. He had also seen that aura around Gabimaru and Rokuroda. Yuzuriha realizes that Sadri is temporarily boosting her Tao with her breathing. Mudon becomes intrigued and focuses on Sadri. He vows to turn her into Tan. The battle kicks into high gear. Mudon shifts into female form. Tao flies into the air and blasts wind-like strikes. The group gets injured. Sadri continues to fight, but the toll of breathing techniques starts to show. His nose starts bleeding. Yuzuriha reassures him. It says that Tao depends on the user, and Sadri's Tao is probably perfect to counter Mudon. Yuzuriha pulls Mudon to the ground with her strings at the right timing. Senna catches him. Mudon briefly shifts into male form, and Sadri does the Tanden strike again at that very moment. She finally drops it. After the battle is over, Sadri checks on Hoko. It confirms that it is stable and has not yet transformed into a full tree. The group relaxes. Sadri asks Senna about his feelings for Yuzuriha. Senna tells her this isn't love. He simply admires her freedom. He shares his backstory. Once he wanted to become an artist, but the family made him Asamon. He hated killing, found solace in religion, and ironically moved up the ranks. He became confused when he met Yuzuriha because she was living so freely, something he never allowed himself. Sadri relates and says they should focus on protecting everyone from Tenzin. Meanwhile, Gabimaru tries to understand Tao. He is happy that now he can sense her, but he knows he hasn't mastered it. He asks Mei how he can help her, but suddenly he passes out. Yuzuriha sees suspicious flowers in Sadri's group. One suddenly attacks him. Senna shields him, but it itself instantly transforms into a flower. The truth comes out. That flower is actually Mudon, now in his final Kishikai form. He laughs and prepares to kill Sadri and Yuzuriha. Just then Shine arrives and cuts off Mudon's attack. He saves both of them. In the last episode of the season, Shine immediately gives orders to Nurugai. He cuts the flowers and roots spreading across Senna's face and body so that his transformation can slow down. Shine confirms that this is the same monster that killed Tenza. He charges. Nurugai keeps cutting Senna's roots. She fears that she might not survive. Hoko also admits that he can't do anything. Yuzuriha tries to stop Senna's bleeding. Sadri and Nurugai watch Shine fight Mudon. Initially, Shine is placed in the upper hand, but Sadri doubts whether her Tao will work on Mudon. The doubt is soon confirmed. Mudon laughs and flowers burst from Shine's skin. Turns out, even the smallest scratch from Tenzin's flower stingers turns into bloom. Shine tries to bite them, but barely manages. Sadri and Nurugai go back into the fight to provide an opening. Sadri tells Tanden Mudon's weak point. Both girls are wrapped in Yuzuriha's protective mucus and bandages, so that flowers do not grow on them. Trio jumps. Sadri pins Mudon's arm. Shine strikes Tanden, but something seems off. He has no Tao sense there. Then barely conscious Senna speaks. He tells Shine that Mudon's monstrous form contains Tanden in its ovule. Shiraion follows the new intel. He cuts the ovule cleanly. Eventually Mudon dies. The creature collapses in a field of flowers. Everyone runs to Senta. Yuzuriha estimates she has no more than an hour. Sadri suggests using medicine, but Yuzuriha only has one dose. She insists that it be given to Shine. She refuses to split because she wants to save something for herself too. She tells Senna to focus on his last memory, and he says that he always wanted to die in Yuzuriha's arms. Nerdy lover boy leaves. The group buries him and moves on. Meanwhile, Gabimaru wakes up in a cave. He looks at Tamiya, Fuchi, and Mei. Tamiya says she brought him here, but Gabimaru can't remember anything. Sadri's group finds a temple and spend the night there. Nurugai and Yuzuriha argue over clothes. Shine suggests reviewing what they know so far. They discuss the Tao, its strengths and weaknesses. Then Then Yuzuriha brings up Mudan's elixir. Cheyenne points out that the shogunate will not let them return empty-handed. Sadri believes the elixir exists because Gabimaru said his chief was immortal. Yuzuriha pushes back. She says that the chief might be using illusions to manipulate Gabimaru, like she manipulated him into believing in his wife's love. She admits that this is just speculation, but it sows seeds of doubt in Sadri's mind. At the same time, Gabimaru is suffering from memory loss. He decides that Mei will stay with Fuchi and Tamiya, even if they seem like strangers, but he promises himself that if they prove dangerous, he will kill them. Cheyenne meets Sadri outside the temple at night. Sadri admits that she is still thinking about the lost members of the Yamada clan and feels for Gabimaru's tragic past. Here, Gabimaru sees a faint memory, an intimate moment